Tell him you ain't know no better.
Hey, come on, I was younger, man. You know.
Yeah,
I was buckets there, man. You know, I was watching Chris Webber tapes. I was like, oh, this is how you do it.
And check this out, though, because
I didn't know how to pass. I never thought about anybody else.
I just shot it.
Yeah, wait a minute. Am I hearing you right?
And he was winning. Just imagine if you would have got guys involved. Zeke, when we talk about winners, man, you're a winner. Flat out. Two-time champion. I mean, I grew up in Detroit, so, you know, this was my team. You know what I mean? I'm watching the games and everything. Now, we can talk to so many people, and when I go around the country, Bad Boys is my favorite team. Oh, they just can play D. Or, man, I don't know if they can score. How would you guys have checked the Warriors?
Well, you know, we watching a film here, and of course we had some physicality in our mix. And
no, just a little bit, right? Not too much. That wasn't a foul.
That's how they beat them. Win at a football game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the thing about this, these are good highlights,
Okay,
right?
right.
But on the real, when you talk about, you know, athletically and defensively, you know, I think we was one of the best defensive teams to ever play the game of basketball.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
When you look at Dumars as a defender,
yep.
You look at myself as a defender out on the perimeter.
Yeah.
And then you have Rodman out on the perimeter, you know, one of the best athletes to ever play the game, and then Sally. So when I thought we had a 2016 team in the 80s. We played pick and roll, we scored the basketball. Now our defense gets a lot of credit, but you know, the team that scored the most points in this league is still the Detroit Pistons with 186. That's the record.
Yeah, and that record, look at this. Kiki Vanderway getting buckets. John Law. Oh, he hit a jump shot on me to win in Toronto. John Law still got a jump shot, man. It's so Zeke. I mean,
yeah, so this was a real game. This wasn't an all-star game in New Orleans. This is a real game.
Let me ask you this, Zeke. Right, I know this is an all-star score, but no, and they were playing D. Let me ask you, Zeke. How would you guys have checked them? I know you could score. I know, you know, y'all could put them in the mixer. They would have to worry about you just as much offensively, no doubt about it. But how would you guys have checked them?
Well, I think Dumars probably would have took Clay.
Okay.
I would have matched up with Curry.
Okay.
Rodman would have matched up with Durant. And Draymond Green, he would have had a very difficult time either with
athletic long Sally or more physical.
Sally, you know, and then we had a shooter in Bill Laimbeer in terms of the center position who would step out and knock down threes. We didn't have a traditional post-up center. And then don't forget we had Mark Aguirre coming in.
Benny.
Benny, I haven't got to Benny yet.
Right.
Get to Benny. So we had some people that, you know, athletically that would match up in today's game perfectly. And we played pick and roll basketball, you know, side and high screen and roll. That's how we won basketball games. We didn't have a traditional low post game where you just throw it in, although we had players that can play down there. But we really, you know, defensively and offensively, we were a well-rounded team. And, you know, what we would do with Curry, of course, I would try to keep him going left, stay in his shot pocket. He's got a low shot pocket from the right side. He's going to get his points, right? But I know I'm going to get mine, too. I think Clay and Dumars would be a great matchup because they play very similar, you know, moving off the ball. They're both great defenders, and they would just lock up like this the whole night. and Rodman on Durant, I would love to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Because Rodman would try to get in his head, and athletically, right, Durant probably is the best athlete in the league right now in terms of size and everything else. But Rodman was probably the most freakish athlete that I've ever seen in the NBA as a defender, as a runner, as a challenger. That would be a good matchup.
Now, Zeke, Curry's my boy, too, but you got to mention Chuck Daly. What would he have said to you before the game?
Oh, tap, tap. And my horn know what I need.
We don't keep it like that. We got to slowly,
bring him this way. We need
slowly dole out players. You can't tell them everything. Let's get to some more tap, tap. Let's get to some more of the highlights. We got Pacers.